live on YouTube Cast to answer all your business credit building questions. Our host, Joshua Van Horn, is here for you during these tough times. But together, as we unite as one, we will get through this and build and rebuild business credit. Subscribe and hit the bell notification if you haven't already done so. Josh is about to take YouTube by storm, and you don't want to miss what's coming.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Can you guys hear me okay? Before we get started, put number 1 in the comment section if you guys can hear the audio okay. Jason, why don't you say something too? Make sure everybody can hear us okay.
Yeah, you sound pretty good to me. How do I sound?
Let's wait a few minutes and then we'll get started. You guys, we're going to cover several different topics tonight. We're going to cover no PG business auto loans, something I haven't touched on in a couple of years. We're going to touch on that this evening. We're going to touch on a new audit that I put together, and also just in 2026, how to build proper business credit to be able to get credit lines like this, stacks like this, okay? And also, you guys asked me last time, and I'll show you here. My Centurion Black card, invite only, American Express Centurion card, okay? We're going to go over that as well. So, you guys can hear me okay? Put like 1 or something in the comment section or the live chat section. Make sure you guys can hear us okay. All right. All right. During this live, I don't know how long we're going to be. Probably not going to be too long tonight. But just put any questions you have. Before we get started, what do you guys want me to start with first? Do you guys want me to cover the no PG business auto loans, or do you want me to cover overall business credit foundation or business credit intelligence report that I just built up? Let me see if I can. All right, let me see here. All right, so I'm just going to go and start with the business credit intelligence report. This is something that nobody else offers. It's something actually that I have patented with the U.S. Department for Patent Services. I made a video about this. Was it 4 or 5 hours ago I put it out? And that's what I'm going to kind of go over first, okay? If you guys have any questions while I'm going through this, just put it in the comment section or the live chat section, and then we'll go from there, and I'll answer it afterwards. But as you guys can see here, this business credit intelligence report is unlike any other report that you're going to find, period. You're not going to find this anywhere else. It's exclusive only here because I'm actually taking all the business credit scores and what the underwriters see, because I'm an actual underwriter as well. So I'm blending it together for what you guys see. If you guys have a Experian account or a NAV or Fair Figure account, and then I'm blending it also what the underwriters are actually looking at, okay? So that's what we're going to look at first. So anybody can order this as well. I've made it public now. The link is, Jason, if you can put the link in the chat section there.
Okay.
Anybody can order this. If you guys want, you can order this right now. And it's only about 48 hours you're going to have this discount. This discount is only for about 48 hours. You're going to get $100 off. So it's normally $4.99, and with this discount, you just have to put in the coupon code 20 off 20OFF, and you're gonna get $100 off. So I think it comes down to being like $3.99 or so. But this report, hands down, bar none, you can't compare it to anything. And we're going to go over that right now. So you're going to see your Experian score, your Paydex score, your Equifax score, and your overall risk score. Okay. So the first, it's 15 pages long too. Okay. So keep in mind, any business credit report, you only see like 2 or 3 pages. This is 15 pages. I'm going over about 7 pages is what the underwriters are actually looking at. I'm telling you what the underwriter is going to be looking at. Okay. So I'm looking at it here on the screen, as you guys can see. So you're going to see your Experian and Tel score, then your Paydex score. And like I said, the scores don't matter so much. It's just something to kind of gauge. Then you're going to see your Equifax score and your overall risk tier score. Okay. Then your entity snapshot and your credit profile summary. Okay. This is going to check if you have any UCC filings, any liens, judgments, collections, bankruptcies, anything like that. Key personnel, employees, anything like that. Your net code, SIC code, all that. Okay. Then if you order this report on creditjosh.link/audit, you're going to get within 24 to 48 hours, you're going to get this report. It's going to be 15 to 20 pages long. Okay. So I'm going to actually check with LexisNexis, Secretary of State, all 4 major business credit bureaus. I'm going to check also your citations, your online citations. It's a very important part that is often overlooked. So the Secretary of State, your status with the Secretary of State, IRS verification, the Bureau verification, address legitimacy. So this is where a lot of people mess up. Okay. The address legitimacy. If you have an iPostal address, this is what's going to be a red flag. If you have an iPostal address, you're not going to see it orange there. You're going to see it red. I'm going to flag it as red. Okay. Because the iPostal addresses, it's not good. Okay. So if anybody has the iPostal address, reach out to us, 937-423-9954. Text us tonight. We can do a phone consultation with you after this live, or we can schedule it for tomorrow or another day. Okay. We're going to also check your public records, make sure there's nothing there, which shouldn't be. And then your cross bureau consistency. Cross bureau consistency is based on all the bureaus combined. Your business name should match across the board. Okay. Also, the address should match. If it says suite, it should be spelled out suite. If one has a suite and then another one has a STE, that's not good. Is it a big deal? Not really, but it's, for me, I like to have everything across the board exactly the same. Okay. So you want everything exactly the same. And that's what I'm actually looking at. That's how I was able to get these. Okay. I was able to get these because I did everything consistently. Okay. So this report I've actually made up pretty much exactly how I would go after building business credit back in 2020, 2021, when I got 2.8 million in business credit. You guys, like, you can see here. Okay, I have the Centurion Black card. Okay. This is not a card that you're going to get very easily. And I don't suggest anybody to get this card because the initiation fee is $10,000 and then it's $5,000 per year after that. But I wouldn't have had that and I wouldn't have got the invite if I didn't, do everything properly. And
Mhm.
all these little tiny details do matter so much. American Express, even though it's personal guarantee, they're checking these things. All right. Even though everything that I go after with my students is no PG, it's still a situation where we go after everything that's no PG, but we look at it the same way as if you're doing it PG. Okay. You want everything to be consistent, everything the same. All right. Because at some point you're going to have to do the PG. Okay. If you want to get major funding, like if you want to get SBA loan, right? That's the most attractive loan. And most of my students that are on the VIP one-on-one business credit mentorship, that's their end goal, is to get a $500,000 or $1 million or $2 million SBA loan, because you can't beat it. It's like 3.5 to 4.25%. And you have 5, 7, even 10 years to repay. So regardless of what your credit scores are right now, your personal credit scores are, you really only need to be 620 or higher. So if you're in, say, 580 or 600 right now, that's something that you can work towards and meet the requirements with the SBA. Okay. All right, let's get so I can stop rambling a bit. All right, the firmographic profile industry risk. Okay, you're going to see your business profile, your industry classification. This is your SIC code, your NAT code, and then your industry risk assessment. Okay, so the assessment is done by me. I'm doing the assessment based on what I see on your overall profile. Okay, and then I'm given the risk factors, your stability, and I can't see here. Hang on, let's see here. The way we have this set up here is, you guys, I can't really see everything here. All right. I'm just gonna, we made another video about this. You guys can check out more in detail, because I don't want to spend too much time on every little part like I did earlier. So the next page is going to be your Experian deep analyst. Okay. This is basically covering the same thing you're going to see on your Experian report, but it's with my feedback. All right. So think of all these business credit reports that I'm compiling. You can get this with Fair Figure, Nav. You can get that, but you're not going to get feedback. That's the thing. You're not going to get the feedback. I'm giving you guys the feedback. So basically, what good is a business credit report if you don't have the feedback, right? Especially if you're new to building business credit. Everything can kind of look foreign and you don't really understand what all this means. All right. So I'm breaking it all down and telling you exactly what each part of the business credit report actually means. Experience is the most important one by far, especially if you're trying to get anything like finance related. So if you're trying to get credit cards, gas cards, loans, SBA loans, doesn't matter if it's PG or no PG, anything financially related, Experian the one that's most important. Dun & Bradstreet is not important. Everybody wants to focus on 80 paydex score. That's not important unless you're trying to get packaging tape, cardboard boxes. If that's what you're trying to get, then go crazy with building up Dun & Bradstreet trade lines. It's not important. And don't sit there and try to get as many trade lines as possible. That's not important at all. Okay. Getting it as many trade lines as possible, it's not important. Okay. It's quality over quantity. Okay. And furthermore, I'm actually showing you guys the Small Business Financial Exchange risk rating. Okay. This is very important if you're trying to get, say, American Express credit lines. Even though that's personally guaranteed, American Express is great because you only have to get one hard inquiry, and then you're going to have American Express, and you can actually get like, let me see here. You guys just like this is my American Express Delta, American Express Hilton. Very underrated card, the American Express Plum. Marriott Bonvoy American Express. Gold card. Another underrated card, green card. I have, I think, 90% of every American Express card, okay? And I can tell you, American Express, doesn't matter if you have bad credit right now, even though you want to try to get, say, all no personal guarantee, I can tell you, if possible, with all my students, I'm going to try to get you to be in a situation where you can have American Express. Even if you've had bad relationship with them in the past, let's fix that relationship, because that's a relationship that potentially you can have like $1 million lines of credit with American Express. They have actually a line of credit that you can actually get with them, and it's not the cards, it's actually a line of credit. And the repayment terms is 2 to 4 years. So you can get like say $100,000 loan and the repayment be over 24 or 48 months, So that's one not to overlook. So basically, the business credit report that I'm actually offering now, the audit, you're going to get all the same reports that you get elsewhere, but then you're going to get my feedback based on every single report and every little part of the report. Okay. So then the Equifax as well. I'm breaking everything down on Equifax, and I'm going to tell you what I see on the Equifax report as well. So Equifax also is very important when it comes to no PG business auto loans. If you're trying to get no PG business auto loans, it's very important to understand your Equifax. If you're trying to get a no PG business auto loan or a fleet of vehicles, Experian, it doesn't matter. Dun & Bradstreet doesn't matter. Ford Motor Credit, Nissan, Toyota, Ally, they're looking at this. They're not looking at Experian or Dun & Bradstreet. Okay. You have to understand what bureau the underwriter is actually looking at based on what you're trying to accomplish. Okay. Then you have your Dun & Bradstreet. So Dun & Bradstreet, I would say, was important. It's not so much important now, but it also depends on what type of business you're in and what you're trying to accomplish. If you're trying to accomplish, say, net 30 vendor credit, if you're trying to get industrial or distribution, say, for instance, you are in restaurant distribution, right? And you're doing, say, Taylor ice cream machines. Okay. Well, you need to have good Dun & Bradstreet, paydex score, not just paydex score, but delinquency score and failure score needs to be good as well. And you need to have a good recommended credit limit if you want to have that net 30 terms with Taylor USA. Okay. But most people, they don't need that. I have some students, they need that, but not everybody needs that. Okay. Next, you're going to see the credit safe. Credit safe is very important because it's a secondary bureau that's actually used in tandem with Equifax. So typically the Ally, Ford Motor Credit, if you're trying to get no PG business auto loans, credit safe usually will be used in tandem. Okay. So it's not one to just neglect and not pay attention to. Next, you're going to see the trade line architect and depth. Okay. So this is basically taking your Equifax, your Experian, your Dun & Bradstreet, and your Small Business Financial Exchange. It's taking all those, putting them into a mathematical formula that I know that actually is looked at as an underwriter. Because, guys, keep in mind, I'm an underwriter myself with one of my other businesses. So I know exactly what these other underwriters, Ramp, Divvy, Bill, Revenue, Fair Figure, I know exactly what they're actually looking at and what they're looking for. So it is a algorithm based. So what I'm showing you here, you could have 10 trade lines on each one of them, but those 10 trade lines might not be the right trade lines because how you're actually using them. Okay. So I may come back. You could say, Josh, I hear this all the time. Actually, I get people contacting me, wanting to join my mentorship, and they're like, Josh, I have like 20 trade lines. I got 15 trade lines, you know, and then I'll do the audit, and it's like, oh, you have a bunch of nonsense trade lines. And those nonsense trade lines doesn't demonstrate that you're a healthy company. Having a whole bunch of starter vendors, $50, $100, that does not demonstrate that you're a healthy company. In fact, I much rather see, like my students, for instance, have 2 or 3 starter vendors and 1 gas card, say Fuel Man, MasterCard, okay? I much rather them have that and spend $1,000 a month on the gas card than spend 1,000 combined with, say, 5 these net 30 starter vendors. Okay, because the underwriters are actually looking at, okay, ABC company has 5 trade lines on Experian, and those 5 trade lines are average spend of, say, $50 to $100 a month. Okay, let's just say $100, 5 trade lines. It doesn't demonstrate $500 a month that your company is healthy. But what does demonstrate is, say, $1,000 a month of fuel. That does demonstrate, and having things mixed. Business credit in 2026 really is a science now. Okay. It's not, cut and dry like it used to be. All right. And then also, like here, I break down the payment behavior and utilization. Okay. So I'm taking all the bureaus combined because some of the fintechs, they're starting to do a quad merged, a tri merged report. So they'd be pulling 2, 3, 4 bureaus and they're putting them together because it's no PG. They have to minimize their risk. They have to lower their risk exposure. By them doing that, I'm telling you guys exactly what they're looking for. Okay. I can tell you guys right now, anybody that wants to get 100,000, 300,000, or 500,000 or $1 million in business credit, it is possible if you're to join my mentorship. And I'm not just saying that just so you join my mentorship, because I don't want to just accept anybody and everybody, but you can reach out 937-423-9954. Text me right after this live, and me or Jason will get on the phone with you and see if you'd be a good fit or not. But with that being said, I know how to position yourself based on what your goals are, short term and long term. I know how to position yourself so you will be in the best possible position to be able to get approved for, say, Ramp, Divvy, Revenue. The list goes on and on. Like I said, I have a stack of 12 inches of cards here. Okay. Next, we'll go through the bureau alignment, data consistency. Okay. This is your Experian Intel score, your DNB PAYDEX score, and your Equifax. So this, I would say, the most important. It's the 3 tri-merge bureau report. And this is where I'm putting it together. And then I'm checking for the gaps. So you can see the discrepancy gaps. So you don't want to have one bureau having, say, 8 positive trade lines and then another bureau having 2. That's a gap. It's not consistent. If you're off by 1, 2, or 3 trade lines, say Experian, you have 10 trade lines, and then Equifax, you have 5 or 7, and then Dun and Bradstreet, you have, say, 6 or 7. That's not that big of a gap. But if you have, say, 10 on Experian, and then you have 2 or 3 on Equifax, 2 or 3 on Dun and Bradstreet, that's a gap. That's where things look like you're manipulating it. So that's how we, with my students, that's how we make sure that doesn't happen, where everything is like plus or minus 10%. So when I say plus or minus 10%, we're going to make sure that if you have 10 Experian trade lines reporting, you're going to have no more than, say, 8 to 11 on Dun & Bradstreet or 8 to 11 on Equifax. You want to be consistent and not that big of a gap. Okay. Not just that, but you want to have a good account mix as well. All right. Next is your online presence and your digital footprint. This is very important. It's overlooked so much. I can't stress it enough. I'm the only one on YouTube that stresses this. It's by far the most important thing. You could have an 850 FICO score and do all no PG, have $1 million in the bank, and you can still get denied because you neglected the online presence in your digital footprint. I see it every single day. Okay. So this is very important. You need to make sure that you not neglect this. All right. That's being listed with, like, say, Better Business Bureau, Yelp, Google Business, Yellow Pages, and other directories. There's like 25 different directories, and there's actually a service that you can get it for like less than $50, a one-time fee, and they'll register all this for you, and they'll get it all verified. Keep track of it, and you get an Excel spreadsheet, and everything will be there, And then you're going to have your contact signals. So the contact signals in particular is like, say, your business phone number. It needs to make sure that it's not a Google Voice. It's not a cheap phone number that's like $1 or $2 a month. It needs to make sure it's actually a good phone number, like Nextiva or your, it could even be a business cell phone, Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T, whatever it may be. But it cannot be a personal cell phone number. All right. That's going to be standing in the way for you to get approved if it's a personal cell phone number. All right. So, like the audit, I'm doing everything. I'm checking everything. There's nothing out there like this at all. And I just now started offering it. All right. So anybody that is interested into getting this audit, it'll be available for 24 or 48 more hours with the discount. Okay. So you're getting $100 off. All right. So the link is there, and the link will be below as well. Make sure you use the coupon code 20 off, and you're going to get $100 off. All right. So, and then if anybody wants to join, say, the mentorship after that, then you'll get actual credit for that on whatever you spent on the audit. You'll get a credit for that. All right. Next is the website audit and credibility. This is where I actually look at your website to make sure if the logo looks like crap. I'm going to tell you, don't get your feelings hurt. If you design the website, hey, if you're not a website designer, don't get your feelings hurt. All right. I come from a website background. I've been doing website development since 1996. I started coding HTML in Centerville, Ohio library. Okay. So I can tell you right now, I couldn't tell you how many students I come across that join my program, and then they're like, yeah, I built this website. And I'm like, yeah, well, it looks horrible. This looks like a 1999. And I'll just tell them that. And they're like, yeah, but I paid $10 for that logo. I'm like, well, you paid $10 too much because it looks like it was made 25 years ago. And I'm just telling you this because I'm an underwriter as well for one of my other businesses. I'm telling you exactly what the other underwriters are looking at. They look at these little small details and they pay attention to it. Okay. It doesn't cost much to do this the right way. You can do it under $100. You don't have to spend much. Okay. Especially with AI and stuff now. Right. So all this is like the audit report that I'm actually giving. It breaks down exactly what you need to do. And I'm sorry if you guys hear some dogs in the background. There's a dog outside. This is very annoying. Let's see here. All right, so next is the red risk flags and underwriting concerns. So I'm breaking down exactly what I found in the audit for your business, and it's breaking down to 3 different sections. In particular, what's most important is what's in the red and what's in the orange. Those are the things that we need to address. Even after the report, you can take the initiative and correct these things yourself. A lot of them are things that you can correct yourself very easily. You can do it the same day or same week, right? Next is going to be your funding readiness and approval tier. Okay. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think you're going to be able to get approved for. This is just a demo. Okay. So don't take this thinking that this is how everybody is. I had a student I just did this for yesterday, and his estimated funding potential was like $460,000. And then once he corrects things, it's like 780,000. All right. So everybody's going to be different. There's so many factors that, go into this. Now you're going to see like where I have the unsecured business credit cards, and I'm going to give a ratio of what I feel. This is all what I personally feel based on my background. Secured and equipment financing pretty much is always going to be pretty high for everybody. It's always going to be about 70% or higher, because secured is not that hard for anybody to get. As long as you've been in business for over 6 months. All right. And then the strategic action plan. This is the last page. Okay. This is going to be the phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3, where phase 1 is going to be where I'm going to tell you what trade lines I feel that you need to get that you're lacking. I'm not going to recommend you to get some starter vendors that are nonsense. I'm not going to tell you to do that. Okay. But you're going to have, by the end of the audit, you're going to have a full, concise action plan on exactly what you need to do. If any of you guys ever did Credit Suite or something like that, paid that ridiculous amount of money, this saves you from that. You don't have to do that. Honestly, this is like so cheap to do. Okay. I'm telling you exactly what to do. And for what I'm charging is like ridiculously cheap as well. I mean, it's I can't say I'm going to offer this long term, but I'm offering it now, and that's basically me being able to break down. It takes about 24 to 40 hours for me to get back. It might take me 12 hours. You might have it back in 12 hours. I like to say 12 to 20 or 24 to 48 hours. But you're going to have exactly what you need to do by the end of the audit. You're going to have a PDF file of 15 to 20 pages of my advice, broke down exactly what you need to do. Okay. So you won't need to have any of the guesswork. The guesswork is taken out because I'm telling you exactly what you need to do. I have to go to the bathroom real quick, you guys. Jason, take over for a minute.
Okay.
Questions? I'll be right back.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, from what I've been hearing from a lot of the students or people that have been looking to join the mentorship, there's a lot of misinformation out there, and a lot of gurus that aren't necessarily even business credit experts that are charging an arm and a leg to help with business credit. And there's a lot of horror stories out there. I don't want to name any of the fake gurus or anything, but there's a couple that I've been hearing about a lot lately, and I mean, charging 1,000 plus and really not giving any benefit, or I mean, the proof is kind of, I know when Josh holds up the big stack of cards, it's looks a little cringe sometimes, but you want to follow somebody that has the results, and that's kind of the main thing, is you want to follow advice from somebody that's done it and has actually been able to build up business credit, and especially because, since he's been doing the mentorship for so long, he's been able to see what works and what doesn't work for the different students. So it's been a big advantage for him just kind of learning about, all aspects and different types of industries. And there's a lot of factors that go into it. Each person has a specific case depending on their personal situation, their goals, what kind of business they're in. So, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Okay, Josh is back. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to tell them how good of a deal this, the audit is, or your mentorship, because I've been hearing from a lot of the students and people I talk to about some of the, gurus out there that are charging a bunch of money for business credit advice when, they might have not ever gotten any business credit. They're just trying to sell something, jump on whatever's trendy and whatever they can make money on.
Unfortunately, that is how things work. Even like Ty Crandall um, with Credit Suite, he's like the founder, but he's been trying to get me on live stream on his podcast for years now.
Yeah.
But like, I heard him like, I don't know, I think about 2 years ago, he said he never even had a business gas card. And it's like, how can you be teaching business credit and you never
Right.
had a business gas card? That's a staple foundation, you know, thing that you should have. Because you guys, these gas cards, I bought 3 houses during COVID liquidating these gas cards. You can liquidate them as long as you know how to do it. Okay. There's a reason when you see like my videos, for instance, and like honestly, listen to this. See how often I go live, how often I put out videos. It's not very
Rare.
frequent. Like, yeah, like I'm not out here daily doing this. Okay. Like maybe 4 or 5 videos a month at most. Like I don't do a whole lot. I don't need to. I'm semi-retired, but you look at these others, they're doing videos every single day. And that's because that's their whole business. They're a marketing business. It's like a multi-level marketing business or a Ponzi scheme. It's like that. And I would say like 50% of our students have already got burned by these different companies and they contact us and they end up signing up with us. And look how many negative reviews we have. 0, zilch. We don't have any. Now, I'm not going to say that we haven't had some problem students. We have had some problem students, but these are lazy people that think that we're going to do everything for them. And they lie and stuff like that. So that's why, we don't have a website where you can just sign up and pay and stuff. I don't do things that way. You have to do a consultation with me or Jason, and then we have to accept you. If I accept you, then you get invited into the program. Okay. But anybody can do the audit. The audit's available. It's creditjosh.link/audit. And then if anybody is actually listening this far along in the live, before you actually do that, we might give you a little bit better discount. So text me 937-423-9954 if you're ready to get the audit report at least. If you want to get an extra discount, I'll give you a coupon code that is even bigger discount. Okay. So you can do that in the next, say, 4 hours. I'll text back a code that will give you even more than 20% discount. Okay. But let's see here. All right, you guys have any questions at all? Because I don't want to, there was other things I want to actually cover, but I don't actually want to confuse this live anymore. Like, because this live was really about the audit. I'm thinking I might do another live tomorrow about the no PG business auto loans because I don't want to group them together. I'm thinking I don't want to confuse. I don't want to confuse anybody. And just to let you guys know, if anybody is interested, say all this is over your head and you're just confused altogether, then that's where my one-on-one business credit mentorship would be beneficial to you. Okay. So just text 937-423-9954 and we can do a free phone consultation tonight even. It's still early where I'm at right now. I'm actually in Manila, Philippines. So it is about 11 a.m. right now. So feel free to text and we can get on a phone consultation. Just text first and then me and Jason can get on a call with you. Okay. But nobody's saying much here, but there's many people here, but, I'm gonna actually do the no PG business auto loans tomorrow. Okay, we're gonna go live tomorrow, and I'm gonna break down the no PG business auto loans. In particular, it's gonna be breaking down Mercedes, BMW, Ford Motor Credit, Nissan, Toyota, and Ally. Okay, so those are the main ones that I'll break down because those are the ones that I've had the most success with. As long as you've been in business for 6 months or longer, then those it's okay. And some of them you can actually get zeroed down because it is secured. If you don't pay, they're just going to repo. So it is a secured. That's why on the report here, I also always put secured equipment financing. That would be in the same category as a BMW Financial, Ford Motor Credit, Mercedes. Like one of the students I've got was like 10 G Wagons. He did a fleet in Beverly Hills for 10 G Wagons. He was able to get that and he's only been in business for 7 months, but he was still able to qualify and get that because it's somewhat secured. Because if you don't pay, they're just going to repo it. It's that simple, So, anyways, you guys watch the replay, and anybody that wants the extra discount for the audit, just text 937-423-9954, and I'll text you back the bigger discount because right now it is 20 off. Okay, so let me actually show on the screen. This is something else that we didn't actually go over, but I won't even touch on that. But this is another, the new client portal. If you're one of my one-on-one business credit mentorship students, you can actually see it like this. This is the new client portal. You're going to see all your scores, the cash flow evaluation, your profile progress, and what you'd actually qualify for. Okay. But let's see here. Let me show this for a minute. So you're gonna actually see all this breaking basically what I already went over. Let me see if I can add my. Let's see here. I was going to show the website. Do you have that open, Jason?
No, I'm not sure exactly how to do it in here.
All right, I'll show it here real quick. All right, so this is the link that you're going to see. This is the creditjosh.link/audit. So it's $4.99, but you're going to get, if you use the coupon code 20 off, you're gonna get like $100 off. But if you're watching this and it's next, say, couple hours, text, and then I'll give you a extra discount that's gonna get you close to 50% off. Okay. And you're gonna get the same audit. All right. But you can literally just check out here, and then after you hit add to cart, you make your payment. It's going to ask you for you to fill out this form. After you fill out the form, expect 24 to 48 hours. You're going to get that full audit, 15 to 20 pages long, breaking down every single thing about your business credit. Okay. Everything that I find that is important for you to be able to get approved. And doesn't matter if you're trying to get, say, 50,000, 100,000, 500,000. I'm going to break down the same as if it's somebody that's trying to get 100,000 or 500,000 or $1 million. I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do. And these are foundation things that's very important. Okay. So just text, and we'll be available for the next about 3 to 4 hours. So you guys can text 937-423-9954 over there. 937-423-9954, and we can do a free phone consultation, or you can do the audit. The link is there, and we'll have the link in the description below as well if you're watching the replay. Anyways, with all that being said, you guys take care. Me or Jason will do a consultation with you. Just text, okay?
All right, guys.
Anything else? Bye-bye.
I think we're good. See ya.
All right. You guys take care.